And hello everybody, thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully tonight we're going to have working tech. Who knows? But we can keep our fingers crossed. Don't know if my microphone is at the right angle, so you'll have to let me know as long as you can hear me okay. So Todd, you can shut your pie hole. Now then, what we're going to do tonight is not a vlog, it's not anything along those lines. This is just going to be a review, but like I said to you on the Monday Night Live show, what I'm going to be doing is I will be kind of interspersing the kind of the whizzy kind of sexy kind of videos along with live reviews as well, just because the sexy ones take so long to make that it just makes sense to sort of throw in a live one now and then as well. So thank you so much for me. Thank you so much for me. Thank you so much from me if you are joining me tonight. And I hope everything is all okay, good and gravy. Nice sharp picture, I hope. I know I look a little bit blown out at the minute, but that sounded wrong. But that's partially because of the light that I've got going on here at the moment. And also I've just realized that if I do some of that, that probably looks a little bit better. So jobs are flipping good. Right then, so hi Dean, your vocals are out of sync. That'll be Google's fault, YouTube's fault. Try refreshing the page and see if that helps. I can't control that, unfortunately. So, you know, that's a thing. But no, what we're going to do is we are going to be looking at the Desire Designs Squonker. So this comes to you fresh from, I'll put it away, fresh from the people that brought you the Rage Squonker with Homeboy OC. And this bad boy is the little single battery affair. So you can get I've got a 21700 running on here, but we'll have a little look at this in a little bit more detail in a minute. So I apologize if I'm not paying attention too strictly to the chat. It's because, like I say, this is a review rather than a vlog. I will try and answer all of your questions once we've done the important bits and bobs that we have to do, if that's all right with you. So I'm just going to hang you on a second. Obviously, I'm not prepared, and equally, I won't be prepared for when this the camera goes off halfway through the live stream, if it does that the same as it did last time. But we'll see how we're getting on. Google took your hairs away too. Absolutely. Had a little bit of a haircut and a beard trim today, so looking sexy, particularly for you, you know. Now then, right, shall we get into this and we can have a little look see what this little puppy is all about, shall we? Because until Expo I hadn't seen this mod. Now Desire had previously asked me to review it, but I'd not really seen anything about it, so I've not really done any background on this one, to be honest with you, because it's just a mod that I've been using and I've been enjoying, but it did take me a little bit to get used to up at the start there, and I'll tell you all about that in a little while. But let's have a little look see what the gubbins is, shall we? Let's do that. Okay, swoosh. Now then, there we go. So this is the box that we've got to play with, and it's, you know, it's a fairly straightforward and simple box. You can see that what we've got going on here is we've got Desire Design cut squonk mod happening here, 108 watts, and then it says, I don't really understand, variable wattage, 108 watts, and then it says volt as well. I don't really get it, but there you go, it's a thing. This product contains some of that business. Warnings are in place. We've got on the side here, we do have a little jobby to tell us what color it is. On the other side there, we've got some contact information for the company in Shenzhen. And then on the back there, we do have a little bit more information as well. So this one's telling us battery capacity, not really the right wording, but 21700, output range 5 to 108 watts, voltage output range 8 or up to 8 volts, minimum resistance 0.08, temperature range 200 to 400. And what we're going to do when we do the we're actually going to do a live temp control test as well, because I figured that would be fun. Another warning there, and we've got a scratch and sniff and made in China at the bottom there. That's it. That's all we've got to worry about. And let's have a little zoom in so we can see this in a little bit more detail. Now, mine is out of the box, but let's just have a little look and see what we've got in the box before we go any more. Now, it does come in one of these clear little plastic bags. So, you know, it's a plastic bag. You don't really need to see that. We have got in here We've got the information, the stuff that they send you, all of this sort of goings here, so you can have a read of that if you did want to pause it. But there we go. We've got the main features and the cut squonk specification. So main features, badoof, and specification, badoof. So there you go. A whole bunch of stuff there. We are software upgradable as well, although I'm unsure of any software upgrades available for this little puppy. So, you know, there you go. It's a thing. So we've got that in here as well. We have the warranty card, like so. And give you that little puppy in there as well. Again, I have not used this company for from a warranty standpoint, so I don't really know how successful they are, but there is a bunch of information going on in there. Now then, if we break this open a little bit more, you've got your battery condom. So if you want to use 18650s, this is your extender, and inside there is your USB recharge cable. This is a USB-B cable, so you know, classic old school. It's not sort of graduated to the USB-Cs as yet, and a lot of people don't have them, so that's no bad thing. But there you go, that's that. And when you've got the sort of the condom, it's quite a sort of a thickish kind of neoprene-y sort of, is it neoprene or just, I don't know, silicon, that's the word I was going for, with desired design in it. You've got a sort of a, it looks like a sort of a gold plated or coated rather. It looks like a particularly thin plate, I'm not going to lie. If I go right into that, I mean, there's not really a lot of money gets spent on these things, but you can kind of see as I sort of move it back and forth, all the little lines and things going on in there, and that comes from the plating process. And in there we do have the other side of the plate, which is not going to focus, obviously. So let's have a little look at the mod now, shall we? So this is the cut squonk. Now, first and foremost, we can see that it is a bit of a funky shape. It's something that's a little bit different, not something that you see all the time, and it's something that took me a minute to get used to it, because I wasn't overly sure if I liked this. When I first put it in my hand, and my patrons will tell you that I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but we can chat about that in a little while. We've got the buttons going on here. We've got this kind of fire button happening, and then we've got the up and down buttons as well. We've got a big old kind of screen situation with a logo, and we'll look at that in a moment. On the side there, we do have Desire Design written sort of quite heavily engraved in there, so they're not overly shy about coming forward with their branding. And then we obviously have the battery door as well. Now, the paintwork on this has held up pretty damn well. Obviously, I'm not super angry with my mods anyway, to be honest with you, but this one seems to have held up quite nicely. No, so it's been sort of dropped a few times, but no kind of, you know, dropping it from a great height on concrete or anything silly like that. And then underneath we do have some CE marks and all that sort of going. So that's it. That's all you've got to worry about. On the inside, now we've got, I'm using a Vapcell 21700 in here at the moment, so it's essentially the 30T. You can see that we do have the battery orientation quite strongly, and the spring connection is at the base here. So a lot of the time you expect the spring connection to be on the negative portion. It's not. It's on the positive portion on this one. And although this is regulated, obviously it's good practice to make sure that your the tops of your batteries do have their insulators on and all that sort of good stuff. Now with that, I mean, like I say, it's an insulated affair. I've not had this kind of tear any batteries or anything along those lines. It does work pretty nicely. Got a slightly raised contact on the base there for the negative. Fairly hefty magnets on the top and the bottom there, and you can see that they will match up with the inside of the door as well. The door is pretty solid, and once it's on there, there's a tiny bit of movement in there, but not unless you do that. There's not really a lot there. It's not something that you really feel in daily life, at least not on my one anyway. So when it comes to the squonk bottle, you can put your own squonk bottles on there if you like, as long as they're the same sort of size. And we do have a little shoulder going on the top here, which helps you hold on to the bottle when filling. And the one thing I will say is the little hose, the little kind of metal pipe that we get on the to connect the squonk bottle up to, is pretty darn thin. So, you know, you will fit a lot of different hoses on there, but if you've got a particularly wide kind of board hose, then it could be a little bit loose use. So just be a little bit careful of that. However, with the one that comes with it, it does go on. And like I say, I mean, it does go, if I can line it up, it does, oh, I can't even see what I'm doing. What's going on there? It does go on like crazy easy, crazy easy. So once your bottle is situated in there, you're fine and dandy. You have got a sort of a design logoed bottle happening there as well. Now if we zoom out, wrong way, Dean, out. There we go. And then we'll pop the battery into this bad boy. We can have a little look and see what the me and you is like, shall we? Let's have a little look at this one. Should we put it the right way up, Dean? Okie dokie. So you can see that first off the bat, it's not the brightest in the world. Now then, let me just turn it on again for you so we can see the whole thing launch itself. 5 clicks brings it on, and there you go. You can just about see that going. Obviously, you can't see that flashing when you're looking at it in real life. That's the refresh rate on the camera there, but you can see that it isn't the brightest one going. And one of the other things that we'll see is this logo, when you go to fire it, will light up, but we'll see that shortly. Now then, I'm trying to do this so you can all see exactly what's going on. So let's have a little look at the menu system. So if we hit 3 clicks, we can see that we get that variable wattage start flashing, and then we can go through to the TC mode. So we've got nickel, titanium, we've got stainless steel. I think I'm looking at this upside down. And then we've got some of the memory functions. We've got a curve we can use if we want to, or we can go with variable wattage. So, you know, it's pretty much the kind of thing that we're pretty much used to. You know, we've seen this sort of menu before, and it works absolutely fine. Now, when it comes to hitting the left button, which is also the down button, as you'll see there, we can go into that. There we go, and that's cleared some background info. And if we hit the up button like so, we are achieving absolutely a rip. So that's about it, really. 1, 2, 3 gets us into that menu. TC, like so. Memory functions. And then we can get your curve going on. So, I mean, it's a pretty simple, straightforward little, simple and straightforward little mod, really. Nothing, you know, to get crazy excited about. But that screen is a little bit of an interesting one. It is, as long as you've got the right light, you can see what you're doing on it. Although the numbers in the corners there with the amperage and the ohmage are a little bit on the small side, to be honest. Now then, what I'm going to do is I will pop on the red tipped black recurve, because I think this is a particularly sexy little setup. Look at that little puppy. Look at that, would you? Doesn't that look pretty? Now that when we do fire that, you'll see that this puppy does light up like a beast. And there you go. Now then, when it comes to the size, we're not looking at a particular... I'm going the wrong way again. It's not a particularly large mod. It's quite long. It is quite a long mod, misses. Now then, this means that it's easy to think... words. It's easy to thumb fire, but it is easy to finger fire as well. Now, one of the things that I will say when you're doing that is, for me, if I thumb fire it, I can have access to the squonk bottle. I can just about press that. If I'm finger firing it, then you do kind of do that little sort of shuffle with the mod to get to the squonky. So you have to kind of do some of that action with the right hand. With the left hand, I can finger fire it and I can get the bottle. If I'm thumb firing it, I can just move it forward to get to the bottle. But because it's on this back edge, you kind of have to, rather than just moving the mod down, you have to kind of twist it out at the same time, if that makes sense in any way, shape or form. Hopefully it does. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I didn't think I liked the shape of it. I didn't think I liked the feel of it when I first got it. However, lots of using it, and I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of, you know, I don't know whether just my hand has got kind of more used to that kind of vibe or what, I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of into this shape a little bit now. So let's have a little look and see what it vapes like after I've had a cough. Excuse me. Now then, I do apologise if I have a little bit of a cough. I've got a bit of a tickle going on, lucky boy. But let's have a little vape. Now, obviously, you know, I'm vaping in wattage mode at 40 watts now. I've got a 0.22 single coil in the recurve, and it's doing a grand little job. So it does exactly what it says on the tin. It fires an RDA. I've not found this to be a particularly slow firer. I've not found this to be underpowered or overpowered or anything along those lines. It just seems to do what it says on the tin. And it's nice. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's one of those things that, I mean, I don't know about you guys, and please do let me know. When you've got a mod, do you always fire it exactly the same way? Because when it comes to me, I like a mod that I can fire in a bunch of different ways, depending on which hand I'm using it and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So it depends on how comfortable you are with these things. But for me, I've been getting on with this famously. So I'm confident that it's going to be something that the shape isn't going to be for absolutely everybody, because, you know, you do have to give it a little bit of a sort of a twisty poos if you are going to squonk it with different hands, depending on whether you're finger or thumb firing. But no, all in all, it seems to be working okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I have got, where have I put it? Here it is. I have just put a stainless steel coil in an older D-Pro Coil Art D-Pro Mini, and I'm going to wick it up live just so we can see how this puppy works with temp control, because I thought it'd be a little bit of a fun test to do live, really. You know, I've obviously done this testing already, but we can see how it goes. Now, obviously, you do have like curves and all sorts of stuff you can play with if you so wish, if you're that kind of way inclined. But, you know, the majority of vapors just don't use it. They just don't use curves. They just don't use things of that nature. So, you know, it's not going to be something to really worry about too much. Now, I will be looking at the questions momentarily, but for the moment, let's just have a little look at this. Now, this is a little space coil I put in. That came out at 0.32. I'm going to give it a quick fire up just to get rid of any nasties that are on the metal. And boom, let's just give this a little bit of a flood of vapor. Just to help the cooling process down. I just think blowing vapor on things helps it cool down. Away we go. So let's get this wicked up, and then we can give it a quick live test. So away we jolly well go. Right, in. Hashtag tickle the wick. I did do a hashtag tickle the wick song. I made one. And then and Mr. Todd said it was the worst thing he's ever heard in his life. So I've not done anything with it. Right, let's just get this wicked up. So we've got a fresh wick in there, nice and clean, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of juice just down there on that middle section so we can really kind of go to town. We don't want to be vaping on this all night, obviously, just for the test, so I don't want to go too crazy on the juice on it, but we're just gonna see what we can do. Alrighty, nearly there already. Give it a little bit of a fire to help the heat kind of generate that, or help the wick suck in a little bit more. Like so. And I think we are just about there. Good. Right. By the way, I am using the I mentioned this last night, Cosmic's Supersonic Scones from Darkstar, which I'm quite into. I'm quite into it. Anyway, let's get this onto the mod, shall we? Now, I've only got one of these mods, so I don't know what the other colours are like. I don't know, you know, anything else about super exciting on there. Someone was asking about the spade on there. I've reviewed the 18650 spade. I've got the 21700 spade, and I will be reviewing that soon. Okay then, so let's go into. It does ask. I don't know if you saw that, if it was a fresh coil, because I went to fire it. But stainless steel, new coil, 0.30. And then it asks us to go to the right. Hopefully you can see this. Focus. There we go. New coil, right. Fuck off. new coil right, same coil left. We're going to go new coil on the right. So that's showing 0.3 down the bottom here. Now, hopefully that is that's visible. So what we're going to do is we are going to bang up that 440 degrees. We've got 50 watts, which I'm happy with anyway. And let's just get this. I've got 3 air holes open on this, so it's not a particularly angry build, but let's have a little transition, and then we can have a little vape, shall we, and see how it gets on. Now that, to me, is pretty damn weak, to be honest. That's at 440 degrees Fahrenheit, which, you know, I'm not into that at all. That's just not, it's not doing what it says on the tin. And that, to me, on a spaced coil, a 0.3 spaced coil, should be absolutely kind of blaring it, you know. Now, what I've done is I've just reset the the resistance. If you've got the coil on there, by the way, where are we? There we go. And you hit the up and the right button, you can set a new coil. So I'm just setting that resistance now. That was got to wait for that to cool down. Hold on. Cool it down. .34. Right. Let's have another little toot. I am going to bang this up to 450 Fahrenheit. And that is going much, much better. That, to me, is how that should have been to start with. But 400, that kind of slight difference in temperature has really made all the difference in the vape. Nice and hot, nice and warm, job's a good one. I'm enjoying that. I am enjoying that a lot. Now then, hold you on, tickety poos. And here we go. It's vaping how it should do. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to disconnect the atomizer. And what we're going to do by doing this is we're going to see if it recognizes that it's a slightly different atomizer, or if it's going to kind of push us back to that resistance once again. So let's have another go. Blow, give it a blow. Right, that should have cooled that coil down just a little bit now. And then when I go to fire it, it's gone back to reading at 0.30. So once again. And that is a nice, nice vape. I'm not squonking it. Possibly shouldn't have chosen an RDA with such a restricted airflow. We could be here for a minute. Okay, so let's go to the let's go and have a look at the wick. So we're getting super kind of dry on the wick, so that really is sucking all of that juice through. I think what we're going to be getting now is we're going to be starting to think about getting a dry hit kicking through here in a second, and this is where you get to see me in pain. Still working, but that drag just did pull it down a little bit. I can feel the dryness, but I can't feel the burn quite yet. Right there, I'm starting to feel that burn coming in. And that is starting to burn. Right, so let's have a little look at that then. So what we've got going on there is, as you can see, we have got a burned wick in the middle there. I'll give that a little bit of a pull. Oh, that was in there nice and snug. So where is it? There it is. So we've got some burning taking place on there. Now then, I've not tried this with other materials, to be honest with you, because I don't use any other materials. I've just tried this with the stainless steel, but you can see that oh God, no. Do you know what? Do you know what? I have fucked up the live thing, eh? Right. That's more like it. Right, let's do this again. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. No one pointed it out. Somehow I switched it from the TCR stainless steel mode into the TCR settings mode. Not the TCR stainless steel mode, the temperature control stainless steel mode into the other mode. So let's go back to this one again, shall we? Let's just do it again. I've got no idea how I managed to do that, but I managed it. Like I said, I mean, this is, you know, inconsequential for a lot of you because most of you don't use temperature control. But you know, let's in the interest of being remotely thorough, we will do it again, because otherwise when people watch this back they will start screaming at me. So what I've found, basically, I'll give you my thoughts on this one so far, in as much as what I've achieved thus far. When I've been doing it, it has seemed to perform to be pretty damn weak, to be honest with you. It's reading 0.30, 440 degrees. Make sure that's nice and wet. Plenty of juice in there. Like so. Top cap back on. And back to it again. So far I've not changed the setting this time. That's handy. And away we go. I over dripped. Nut chunder, you always use TC with stainless steel builds? Absolutely not. I very rarely use temperature control, to be honest with you. Very rarely. I don't really see a lot of people don't use it. It's something that I occasionally would use with a tank. But no, generally I tend not to use it. I like the replay thing, but I don't like temperature control ordinarily. I kind of have fits and starts with it, but generally, yeah. That's it. That's all I'm getting. Let me just throw out a bit of that extra juice. And you can see on there the setting. Is it going to focus? There we go. Hopefully you can see the setting that I've got on there. So I've got stainless steel, 440 degrees, 50 watts. And, you know, it's weak. It's weak. That's the best that it can do. I'm going to take the temperature right up. We've gone to 500 Fahrenheit. 500 Fahrenheit. And we have got a little bit more of a cloud. But it's a pretty weak vape, to be honest with you. So really, when it comes to the temperature control, does it work? Kinda. Unless you overcook it like a monster, it does kinda work, but it's not brilliant. If you're a temperature control fiend, then I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be the mod for you. Now then, well, I'm just going to pop the reload back on here and have a little sip of juice. Right, hang you on. Go into variable wattage mode. Now, by the way, you can obviously change your wattage up and down when you are in temperature mode as well. So To do that, you're doing 3 clicks and then the down button, and that will allow you to change the wattage. I just left it on that 50 watts because that's a nice kind of, you'd expect something worthwhile to be happening at that point. So I'm back onto variable wattage mode. It's recognized the change in resistance on the RDA. So it's now showing that we've got 0.21 going on there, and everyone's a winner. Now then, what else have I got as a conclusion for this? So, I think that the temp control isn't that great. I think that wattage mode, I think, is pretty damn good. I think it works as you would hope it to. It fires pretty much straight away. I don't know if this is going to be picked up, but 1, 2, 3, and it's kind of 1, 2, 3. It's there. It's firing as instantly as any other mod. So I don't have really any issue with that one. So that's fine. Now, I am seeing that if you have got a question, please start at Vaping Biker in the comment there. I've noticed that Raj is asking, is the mod a battery killer like its big brother? Well, to be honest with you, Raj, I think I've had an 18650 in here like once. And to be honest with you, it works as you would expect a single battery to work in a mod like this. It's no worse or no better than anything else that I've used. However, I absolutely adore using this in 21700 mode. Using the 21700 battery just gives me that extra power, or extra battery life rather, and for me that works out really nicely. So it's working like a trooper, and jobs are good. Now then, I tell you what I've not done. I tell you what I have not done at all, because I'm a terrible human being, is I have not organised or found out the price of them. So let's get another window open, and then hopefully I can do a nice little sharey screen thing where we've got the window happening. So stick with me 2 seconds. And we will do that one. And if I move that there, you'll understand what I'm saying in a second. I'm sorry, I'm talking kind of to myself a little bit here. But right, there we go. Which way around have I got to be here? So can I move this without cocking things up? Yes, I can by the looks of it. Marvelous. So let's have a little Google and see what this puppy is saying. Desire, rage, cut, squonk. Let's see what we get coming up here. We've got a bunch of stuff going on here. Desire, rage, squonk mod, e-cig, click. That's not a purchase page. Element vape. Here we go. No, that's not the cut. They don't make it easy to find, do they? Right, there we go. Then Everson.com, whoever they are, they're $70, $70 for those guys at the moment, apparently. So that's that puppy. But as soon as you search for these guys, you're getting just a lot of the obviously the rage coming through. Hang on, why did I search rage? It's my fucking idiot. I'll tell you. It's one of those days today, isn't it? Let's have a look at Evan's gifts, seeing as they're the ones that came up front. If this page is ever going to load, $70, $70, and a bunch of different colours. There you go. You have options. So there you go. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your taste buds, jobs are good. But $70 from those guys. But it is on pre-order by the looks of it. I don't think. Let's have a little look and see if they sell anything on their website themselves. It's not the quickest loader, is it? Here we go. Flicking about all over the bloody show. Look, pictures everywhere. Fuck me sideways. But no, it doesn't look like you can buy it directly from the Desire people anyway. So there you go. But it does show you the all the different colors. So if you want to look at all of those little puppies, go ahead to desiredesign.com and go and check those fuckers. So yeah, there you go. This was something that I saw at Expo at the start of May. So I imagine it's going to be out reasonably soon if it isn't already. Like I said, it looks as though it's on pre-order from Heaven's Gifts. And so I can't, as you can see, hang on, this one says that it's in stock. I don't know who these guys are. 8 Vape. I have no idea who they are. What's this? Yeah, go on. Have some of that. Just bugger off, look. Let's no, there we go. Right, so black, $69.89, and nothing there that I can see that says that it's a pre-order. But I've never used this website, so I don't know if it's any good or not. So I'm going to leave that one down to you to do a little bit of Googling if it's the sort of thing that that you're into. So that's about it, really, to be honest with you. I mean, you can do what you want to do on it, and that's fine. But for me, I've been using this in 21700 mode. I've been using this with variable wattage pretty much only. I've tested the other functions, and obviously we've done the temperature control together. But you know, it is a bit of a weird shape. It's a bit of a strange shape. It's not going to be for everybody. $70. Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think if this was around the $50 mark, I think it would have been a lot sexier and a lot more appealing, to be honest with you, particularly if you don't have 21700 batteries and you have to go out and buy one. They occasionally won't be the cheapest. If you do get one, I would certainly suggest going for the Samsung 30T or the Vapcell 30T, but go and check out Mooch's YouTube page, and he can tell you more about that sort of good stuff as well. So that's everyone's winner. So 8 Vape is awesome, says Smoky Bud 419. Yeah, it's a bit weird, especially for a single battery. I mean, let's say, when you look at it, when you look at the size of this, when you look about what's inside there, there's not that much extra wasted space. So, you know, it's the size that it is, but there's not really kind of anything excessive. You've got to have that bit under there for the board. And so, you know, it's there. But it's a different looking thing. And as a sort of a daily banger, bit of a daily beater, why the hell not? You know, if that's the sort of thing that gets you. The one thing that just really annoys me though is that kind of blue light. I don't like excessive blue lights, and it also means that this kind of perspex piece at the front here is all the way down the mod, and it could have been cut off here, which would have reduced its fingerprint magnetness. Willingness to accept fingerprints. Yeah, it would have reduced that a little bit. Lots of fingerprints on mods just bugs me a little bit. So that's one of those things. So no, all in all, it's going to be down to you guys whether you like the idea of it, whether you like the size of this mod. What can I give you as a size comparison? I've got the Aegis Legend next to me now, and it is just a tiny bit shorter. And width-wise, we are a little bit thinner as well. So you can see there that we do have kind of, it is smaller, but obviously this is 2 battery. However, normally when we see squonkers, they're pretty much the same size as a 2 battery mod anyway. So yeah, funky size, funky design. I didn't like the red buttons on black. I thought that was pretty ugly, but I'm kind of into it now. It's just red on black just reminds me of Kanga, which just is it's not a good headset to be in when you're trying something out. The one thing that I will say that is nice about this shape is it's dead easy to find the fire button, no matter which hand you put it into, because you know you're just looking for that slope, and once you get that slope, jobs are fucking good. But there you go. That's it. That's about all I can. That's about all I can tell you, really. The Desire Designs Squonker, the Cut Squonker rather, from Desire Designs. Something a little bit different, something a little bit interesting. I've grown to enjoy using this, and I've actually had it on my desk a lot, and where I've just gone to reach for it because it's a bit of a winner. Now, one thing that I haven't said, which could kind of, I don't know if this is going to put you off, because everyday vaping, you don't notice it. But if you shake it, the battery isn't held in super tightly. Now, I don't feel the battery moving when I'm moving the mod around like for normal use, but for if you give it some beans, then the battery does move around. So that's, I guess, going to be kind of a negative for some people. But no, I think that's about it. I think that has pretty much covered everything I can think of to tell you about this little bad boy here. Nut Chunder says, cool, never seen it before. I think that's about it. Big screen, I suppose. Well, you say that, but it's not. It's not a big screen. It's a big area of screen, but the actual screen is not that big. So, you know, do you see what I mean about this bit being kind of unnecessary? I don't care about that. That I don't care about in the slightest. But this bit is the bit that I want to see. And this bit could have all been just the same material as the rest of the body in my book. But there we go. Anything else? Any more questions before we go? No, me, US. No, I'm not going to, because this is a review on another product. So I'm not going to get into that one. But there we go. That's it. So I don't think there's anything else I can tell you. $70, something that's, you know, could tickle your taste buds, may or may not do. Who knows? Who knows? But let me know in the comments if you've got one. Let me know what you think of it, because I'm kind of, there's things like the TC doesn't work, and I know I'm repeating myself, but the TC doesn't work overly well. The slight maraca if you shake it like a bastard, and the slightly thin tube coming down from underneath. Well, I don't think I'd pay $70 for it. I think $50 or $60 maybe. I don't know if I'd pay $70 for it. But like I said, it's one of those mods that's just been comfortable, and I've picked up and used it a lot. That's about it. I can't really tell you a great deal else. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I've answered hopefully I've answered the questions that have been thrown out there. This has been nearly 45 minutes. What? But no, the next review that will be up will be of the D Pro Mini, and that will be a proper recorded one. Like I said, I'm going to try and alternate the live ones with the recorded ones, and we'll see how we get on with that. But it's you know, it's just a bit of fun, and I think the quality is pretty reasonable of this kind of feed. So I'm happy with that, as long as you guys are. Let me know if you don't like the live stuff, or let me know if you do. Either way, comments down there, not on the penis, but in the comment section. Right, on that one, ladies and gentlemen, I am off. I will see you very, very soon. Have it larger.